Welcome to another exciting edition of It's All Relative. I'm Josh.
And I'm Timothy. What's good?
And we are back with episode 24.
2-4.
Yeah, today's episode is going to be such a vibrant one that I don't want to wait too long on getting our guest on.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So, the subject we're going to talk about today is very much so in the now, our present, and definitely will be a huge part of the future. Coming on to talk Tesla cars, Tesla robots, ladies and gentlemen, Tesla employee Avi Harrindranauth.
What's up, brother?
How are you guys? Thank you for having me on.
Good.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. No problem. You're welcome.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on, bro, and being a part of It's All Relative.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. But before we get in to today's main subject, I wanna fill you guys in on something, ask you a few questions. So I've spent the last week watching many people bust their ass on this hood milk crate challenge.
Oh.
All right. So I wanted to know, all right, you guys are familiar.
Yes, very.
You guys have seen some videos.
Yes, very many.
Yeah. So
seeing many people bust their ass too.
Right. It's jumped out of the hood and now people everywhere are trying it. You know, I've seen different genders, different weight sizes, different age groups.
And everybody falls the same.
Yes. I have seen some of the videos are pretty funny. You know what I'm saying? When people fall, I've seen some bad ones though. I saw, we were talking before. I saw this chick trying to do it, and she fell and she broke her arm.
God bless her.
And her arm was literally like a noodle.
Jesus.
You know?
How high was the crates?
I don't know. Whatever it was the top. I don't know how tall they're stacking them. But
you stack it as high as you want.
But she was on the tallest level, which usually happens because when you're standing on it, then that shit starts to shake and rock, and then they're gonna be falling. So.
You know what's so funny about this? I mean, it's kind of like a meme almost, but this is some shit that we used to do way back in the day. Like when we were 12, we would just stack up milk crates and just climb up on top, and then we fall right at the apex.
But we had a purpose. The thing was, we were stacking the milk crates to get to something. You know what I mean?
Right.
What is their goal now? I mean,
the goal is to get up to the top and to go back down the other way.
But
why?
Because you can.
Right. Listen, everyone that I've seen done this, and when I mean by seen, I've personally seen it, okay? You fall.
Of course. Some people make it.
You fall. You get hurt. You actually get hurt.
Yeah.
We laugh.
Right.
You look like an idiot.
Right.
Why?
So now you're doing it, but for social media. So if you make it across, you can post it on Instagram, you can post it on Twitter. Yo, look at I made it. Or if you climb and you fall, everybody's recording, so you're just a joke now.
Yeah.
And it's like, how amazing is the fall? How hard can we laugh?
Have you guys seen anyone or any videos of someone completing it?
Yes, actually, like 3 days ago. Let me see if I can pull it up. You could keep going, but I'm gonna try and pull it up.
Okay, no, I was just gonna mention that I did too. I saw one video of some guy completing it, and like while he was doing it, he was literally twisting up an L as he was going.
As he was going up, God bless him.
Walking up, twisting it. By the time he got down, everyone was all hyped and give that man a lighter. You know what I'm saying? But that shit was dope. So
how many
he did it
views
so
is it?
smooth. I don't know, that shit is viral right now too. So I'm sure that you would, if you typed in anything in regards to that would pop up. But shout out to that man for real.
For real.
Because he's smart. You saw him do it. It's all about balance.
Right.
Okay. You walk up there, you start getting squirrely, you're gonna fall. And it came back to the one thing I was telling Josh about is it's all about confidence.
Yes, okay? It is all about confidence.
You walk into there saying I'm gonna fall, you're gonna fall.
You're gonna fall
9 out
hard
of 10
too.
times you're gonna fall. Okay. It's all about confidence, and it's all about balance. That guy who did that was so confident. He was worried about probably not messing up his L, and he didn't because he was so confident about that. He just did it as second nature.
He had to make sure the L was rolled real tight.
He did, man. He, like I said, he did it so smooth, and like it was funny because as he was getting higher and higher, as he was twisting it up, everybody that was recording, they was like, "Yo, you dropped that whiz, you ain't gonna be able to find that in the grass."
No, right.
Trying to mess him up.
Concentrate real hard.
But notice that's part of the game, though. Like especially if they're doing really well, you're trying to make sure they fall, man. We're trying to see a fall. We ain't trying to see the triumph or anything.
Which is very sad.
Yeah,
that's
how it is.
Trying to prey on someone's downfall because he's doing so well. Come on,
Isn't that what life is about?
Yeah, I have seen some big boys try to attempt this too,
and they fall too.
Big falls.
Yeah,
big
you're
boys
damn right.
equal big falls.
Knocking the crates all over.
Yeah, bro. Their bodies literally bend too, over these crates and whatnot. But we didn't want to say, if any of our fans or followers have a video of them completing it, you know what I'm saying? Send it in to us. Contact us with an audio message on Anchor. Let us know about it. We want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? If there's proof, we'll get you on.
Right. We will, definitely. You know what's funny? I just typed it in on Twitter, and one of the keywords is milk crate challenge completion. Like, they have completion at the very end of it, because no motherfucker is making that shit over. Nobody making it.
Yeah. But, all right, let's get into it. So.
Oh, you fell. My bad.
No, you're good.
Sorry, I watched where you fell. All right, we good.
I'm saying, some of those falls are bad, man.
Yeah, it's awful, bro. Let's get to it.
So, all right. Quote, unquote, the new and different car.
The new and different car.
Avi, talk to us, my man. What makes Tesla cars stand out?
Think about it, guys. This is the first... There's so many things that make it stand out. I feel like there's so many topics we could lay out in bold right now and just build off of them. But I would probably say it's electric. Okay.
It's electric. Is that
not the song as in the car? It's electric.
Yo, that song is great, though.
It's timeless, right?
Yes, sir.
Just like this car, it will be timeless.
Okay.
It's the first electric car that came out that wasn't part of any other car company.
Mm-hmm.
It's its own startup company.
Right.
And it is the most profitable startup company in the world. Tesla came out of nowhere. Who is Tesla? Mm-hmm. You guys just released a car at almost $100,000, a little over $100,000. And I'm not talking about the Roadster that came out in 2010 that, wasn't so much of a hit because it wasn't very affordable, but it was, still a car that could do a quarter mile faster than a Lamborghini. Who are you guys? Where did you come from? Yeah. Wait, you came from California? You're American?
You're American.
So wait a minute. You're an American car that's selling for the price of like European luxury.
Right.
Interesting. Why should we buy you?
And it's electric.
Well, that's part of the reason why we should buy you. It's electric.
Okay,
the gas crisis was right around that time.
I have that side question for you. None of the cars are gas cars. They're all electric.
100% electric.
Okay. All right.
No fuel whatsoever.
No fuel. Okay.
Now, you do need fuel, though, in terms of, you don't need fuel, but it does use, oil for like hydraulic fluid for like the differentials.
Okay.
Right. It does use still certain fluids like coolant, radiator fluid, because it needs to cool the battery.
Right.
So what cools a regular car, the radiator, you actually have a type of coolant that cools the battery. Right. And those cars do have a radiator as well to cool it itself. So even though in theory it doesn't have a motor, it still has a lot of other fluids to still keep it down. Yep.
Gotcha.
Can you explain or talk about the battery range?
Okay, so the battery is just basically like the motor of the car. Okay. It's partially, 80% of the drivetrain. So the car does have its regular axles and everything like that, but the axles also have, like a regular vehicle would have a differential in the motor. Okay. The axles have like the electric motor, right? And the electric motor and everything sits on top of the battery, right? Okay. So the whole car comes down as a shell and the battery is like the chassis, right? So you think about the battery of the car, and the battery of the car is made up of these million cells.
All right.
Okay. Now it is a very dangerous thing because that battery in theory can incinerate you, in the matter of seconds, because when these cars get into an accident, right? And like you look at the body repair team, which is really more of the area I'm in, right? Mm-hmm. Look at how the car is constructed and things like that. These cars have high voltage cables that are almost as thick as this water bottle.
Jesus. Okay.
And those cables, when it gets into an accident, they're sheared. Now you look at the components in there. If it's still connected to the battery and you touch that, it will roast. You're done.
Okay.
Right. It's
so
a matter
very high voltage.
Yes. The body shops that deal with these cars, they don't get enough credit. I'm telling you, because, they need to have a fireman's loop when a guy is disconnecting these batteries, because God forbid this person gets connected to the car
and he's not grounded.
He's not grounded.
Jesus Christ.
Right. So you have a 2-man operation when you're working on a Tesla,
Right.
which is insane because that battery is so powerful. Right. Now, getting back to the battery, is there anything specific you'd like to talk about it? I mean, in terms of like, you know, how efficient are they? Because the battery is really, if the battery is let's say messed up on a Tesla, the car is no good. It's like your cell phone. Your battery is shot. What's the point of my phone? Your phone still has a million other components that are good.
Right,
but if the
right.
battery is gone.
Okay, I got some questions then. Like, how long can you go on a charge? Like, how many miles?
So that is, I would say, a loaded question, and that's how Tesla would also ask it as the average person.
Damn, I didn't know I was loading it up.
Yes. Why? Because a lot of people, we advertise it as, oh, you could get 350 miles to a charge. But that's on, you know, what driving condition.
Right.
Now, is your car loaded with 5 people deep? Are you using the AC? Does everyone have their cell phones plugged in? Does your kids have their cell phones plugged in whilst it's charging? Is it in the winter? Do you have your heated seats on like the average person would use in their car?
Right. Like I used when I was coming here.
Correct. Exactly. And it's what? 75, 80 degrees outside in the middle of August,
say,
and you have your heated seats on.
Hold on, bro.
I got,
You probably had the AC on too.
yeah, he does. Yeah,
You
so I
was
did.
using the heated seats.
You fucking right, I did, man.
Back problems, man. It helps our back.
You damn right, bro. I sit back in the thing. I turn on the AC. I turn on the heated seats. I'm trying to get that perfect condition wherever
Best
I'm
of
going.
both worlds.
Yeah.
I got
so
you.
forget it. Regardless of the temperature outside, man.
I understand that though. It does help your back.
It does.
You have the
It
heated
does.
seats on. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying though.
You know, there's so many variables. You know, but aside from that, you also have to remember there's the biggest variable. So those are all minute things, but it's something to think about because in a gas-powered car, you have the AC on, you burn more gas.
Right.
Okay, everybody knows about that. In an electric car, if you have the AC on,
You burn more electric or
because
more
everything
battery.
comes back to the battery, right?
Okay.
So that now starts affecting your charge. Now the car does have a 12 voltage battery in it, like a regular car battery as well, in the front, which is called the frunk. So you pop the
frunk. Okay.
right. You pop. Why they call it the frunk is because you pop the hood. There's no motor there. There's actually a tub where the motor should be for storage,
Ah,
just like the trunk, which is pretty cool.
so double storage.
Double storage.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So the thing is, the 12 voltage battery still needs to get powered by the Tesla battery. So that's more charge coming back to the car, right? So it comes back to, you know, how hard do you drive the car? Just like a gasoline powered car. You drive it, you know, aggressively. You don't get miles per gallon it says you should get. Just like the battery, you drive them aggressively. Like if you're going up a hill, if you're like a little speed demon, you know, it's like city driving, the drain drops. These are things people don't think about when you just think, wow, 350 miles. That's awesome.
So if it's not 350 miles, do you have like an average that you guys are really safe with? Like, is it like 200?
Oh, most certainly. Listen, the infrastructure now compared to what it was. I mean, right now in 2021, the infrastructure is the car will tell you, okay, if you put in your destination where you're going, or even if you don't, it'll tell you, okay, you're going here, or you know, okay. Tesla is very good with their apps. There's charging stations everywhere, and it tries to route you to these charging stations when it knows you're going somewhere. So, okay, you know what? You're going to need to charge your car in 150 miles. We're going to hit this route so you can charge it here, back out here. It's cool.
Okay.
It's not 100% efficient if you're trying to make time, but on that end,
if that's the case, is there a lot of charging stations around the U.S. like enough to make it not like out of someone's way? Like they don't have to drive like 30 miles to get to a charging station.
It depends. Are you using this as your everyday car? I mean, think about it. If we're just driving around our local area where we are in the 845,
right,
you're good to go where you have to go every day to work and
Very
back,
true.
and then you can charge it home. But let's say now you're someone that needs to take a road trip with your family. You're not making it to Florida in the average time you normally do because you're going to have to pull over and stop every couple hundred miles and charge your car.
Right.
There's a lot of waste of time. Now, there's also not charging stations as there are gas stations. So you still have to divert, and it does take time. But the more Teslas that are bought in areas, the more charging stations are out. Hence, there's more electric cars today. So things are very generic to charge a Tesla, thanks to the other electric cars too.
Right. Don't most businesses have some form of charging?
Yeah, they do.
box?
They've made it to the point where even if you're going somewhere and there's not a charging station, they do have a regular cable where you could plug it into the wall, but you'll be sitting there for a little bit.
Right.
But you can still get around.
Can how long is it till you get to a full charge?
Depending on what kind of charger you have. You have a supercharger, you'll be in and out.
Damn.
You'll be in and out in the matter of minutes. They charge pretty
Matter
fast.
of minutes?
Nice.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Jesus Christ.
If your car is dead, you'll go in, grab yourself a hamburger, a drink, get a coffee, come back. You'll have enough charge to get you somewhere where you need to go, and I mean a matter of like 200-300 miles.
Jesus Christ.
You give it an hour or so on a supercharger, it's quick. You plug it into the wall, you'll be sitting there for about 6 hours.
Okay. So if you plug it into the wall at home, I think they call them levels, right? So it's like a level 1, level 2, level 3 charger.
Right. So let's say now you're at your house.
Right.
Tesla, when you buy, a new Tesla, they will send someone to install it into your house, and they'll wire it into your, your breaker, so at least you get a legit charging system.
Right. The professionals. Yeah.
Right. Not, plug it into the average Joe's wall and get 20 amps, which will take forever.
Yeah.
But today, I mean, listen, in 2012, when the first Model S came out, it was different. Okay. Because electric was just different.
Right.
Today, electric is not so different. So it is very convenient.
Okay. Well, I got one more question. Do you think that electric will eventually take over from gas or take over gas? Will we not be using petrol anymore?
Well, if we don't use petrol anymore, like let's say, we just can snap our fingers today and get rid of all of the fossil fuels, the Tesla production would stop at whatever's currently in the factory. You need petrol to make these cars.
Right. Well, I mean, as far as just using it as gasoline to drive around.
I think that goes back to politics, and I think it all depends on who's in office because, if gas prices the way they are keep going up, electric sales will keep going up, and they have right now.
It's very true.
But, recently when we had, our past president, right?
The
gas prices were previous President Trump. It was very low.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now people started buying different vehicles, but just like we saw back in 2010 or 08, when Obama came into the office, he did the cash for clunkers thing, which was very good because if you couldn't afford an electric car and you knew that the prices were going up, he did this thing where you trade in your piece of crap car and we'll actually give you way more than fair market value.
Damn.
Right. And you can buy a newer vehicle. It was to mainly get the garbage off the road, other cars, this, that. But the whole point was efficiency.
Right.
You get newer cars, more efficient cars.
More efficient
gas
cars and
prices
getting
were
done.
going up.
Right.
But gas prices go up, you don't buy certain vehicles. You buy electric. And the incentives now for electric cars are also insane. I mean, the rebates. You buy a Tesla, you get a crazy tax rebate.
Damn.
You buy a Tesla right now, brand new, at some point they were giving you like a $7,500 tax rebate back. And I'm just saying from the government for just going electric, not from whatever the car company offers you.
That's wild.
Yes, if that does continue, yes, I do see electric becoming a very big thing.
Okay.
Is there anything special about the interior of these cars or anything dope about the dashboard?
Oh, yeah. The dashboard looks like a massive iPad in your car.
It looks like an iPad?
Yeah. The Model 3 is like putting an iPad in your car. Now,
dang.
It looks a little cheesy, but in theory, we love features in a car.
Yeah, we do.
That thing has everything. And you can stream. You have Spotify. It has this, that. You could search your own music.
It's a second house.
It's a second house, man. You have your phone, but they do have a lot of cool features. Aside from the interior technology, the model, depending on which ones you get, they have a nice vegan white leather interior, which is very nice, but you have to be very careful with them.
Okay.
It's very gentle fabric, but it's beautiful.
Okay.
Aside from the self-driving feature, I mean, a car that drives itself, watching a steering wheel when you're sitting down inside turn itself is very weird and something we have to start getting used to.
That's wild in general. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I was very skeptical about it first, but the more you get, it's all about getting used to something now. It's all about like breaking in and easing into you. At first I was just always like still trying to grab the wheel, always staying right there, but Now I'm texting, you know. I'm just like, oh, okay,
What?
this is too normal.
So there's people in Teslas just texting while they driving?
Oh, they do a lot more than text,
You
man.
kidding me? Oh man, they Snapchatting now.
Right. I'm sure we've seen some of the videos.
Stripping the
It's been
Snapchat.
bad. You know, you see a lot of the videos out there.
Jesus.
Because these cars are huge computers, you know.
Right.
Just like your computer, and as you know, you're very tech savvy
Right,
yourself.
right. Thank you.
You could jailbreak anything,
Yeah. Yes, I can.
including a car.
That is not as good. That is not as cool. Wait. Side question then. Do you think places like China, Russia, other places that do malicious things, do you think that they will get to a point where they will start to jailbreak cars and cause them to crash?
Listen, I can honestly say, not do I think. It's just how many times have they already done it?
Right.
Okay, it's already been done.
It's already been done.
Everything now that we rely on to make this car and these cars, any car really,
Mhm.
you know, good chunk of the products come from China.
Right.
A lot of things are plastic. Everything is made there: modules, computers, components,
hmm
boards, circuit boards. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's all China made. Your
Damn.
phone, our phones, you know, the technology, these things. It's, of course,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I know for a fact they steal everything.
it.
Yeah.
They do control it. It's just we don't know it. It's just, or we don't want to know it. It's already being controlled, and we already signed our rights away, just like everything. You know, we download an app on our phone.
Jesus.
Yes, so we can use it. You
Right.
want to use the autopilot. You don't read that there's certain things. Yes. You know,
Right.
because the body shops always get a bad rep for the autopilot stuff. That's why they always, whenever a Tesla gets wrecked,
Mhm.
right, which is you know, the part of what I deal with. You know, when they get wrecked and they're in an accident, they get fixed 100%. The body shops have the capability of recalibrating them for the autopilot to start driving itself again.
Damn, that's
But
crazy.
why would they take that liability in the event something happens? You know, it goes back to the body shop.
Right.
You know, not the insurance company. They paid their part out to get it fixed, so they're out of it. The body shop is the one who holds the responsibility.
Right. So they rely on them getting it 100%.
Correct. And you know, yes, the body shops are very equipped. They have to spend a lot of money, the tech training, the things involved to fix a, you know, very unique and sophisticated vehicle such as a Tesla. But, you know, body shops don't want to take that liability. So it comes back to the factory. You know, it comes back to things where like I deal with and things that where it's, okay, this is a very important thing. So as time went on, Tesla's like, you know, it's not 100% autonomous. It's
Okay.
99.9. So you really just give that 0.1% liability where you just signed it away, where it's on
Right.
you if something happens.
But it's that 1% that be getting people though.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, even we could fully know it. I mean, and they tell it to you.
Hmm.
You still want it. It's
Yeah, you
awesome.
still
We want
sign it.
different.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Still want
Give
that
it to
Tesla.
me.
Give me that Tesla.
You could die.
Jesus.
Okay, where can I sign?
How long you been part of the Tesla family, bro?
So really I started out with like the body end of it, right? Because that was a big infrastructure, and I started there in May of 2015.
Okay.
I started working for a sublet company that does the largest and one of the well-known East Coast body shops, North State Custom. You know, where I really started learning about these cars. You know, where they get put together, built, how they work, things like that. You know, I don't know much about it in terms of like, you know, there's so many aspects of a Tesla. You know, I could just tell you everything about a car in and out, you know, how they're made, put together, built, the problems, issues, you know, things you see. But yeah, I've been there for 6.5 years. And really, like I said, for being such a startup company, I didn't think I'd be there for so long. But they've been growing, you know, and it's a great company to grow with if you're going to be in the car industry.
Okay.
I agree. It seems like the future.
But every car company now is growing. I mean, Porsche, Audi, Volvo, BMW, GM, they all have electric cars now that are
Okay.
taking off.
And is Tesla leading the way?
Of course they are.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
seeing more and more Teslas every day. That's all I'm saying.
We have so
Tesla's
many
all
They
problems.
popping up everywhere.
We have so many problems with that car. You know, so many little things that are like, if it happened with a regular car, you'd be like, wow, this thing's a piece of crap. But people know about it and still they just want it.
Right. So
So,
it's got
yeah.
that prestige.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that, like I said, it just came out of nowhere and it's from California. Like, Tesla, what is that? Who is that? And they just built
Yeah.
this
Who's
name.
Nikola Tesla?
Right?
That's who I asked at first. Damn, I remember when it came out. It literally came out of nowhere. I was like, who the hell is this? I was like, oh, is this like Ford or something? No, we're doing high end cars. Okay. Yeah. And
Just
now
like-
they're here.
Just like now, you know, just to give you guys a little preview, or it's not out yet, but you have two other car companies that are really going after Tesla, such as Lucid Air.
Lucid Air.
Lucid Air. You
Okay.
see, it's like I just saw the look on your face. You're
okay.
like Lucid Air. That's what everybody said about Tesla. Tesla, like what?
Right.
You know, and then now look at it. You know, everybody, freaking babies are saying Tesla. You know what I
want a
mean?
Tesla, yeah.
You know, you have babies using the Tesla app on their mom and dad's phone, summoning cars to pick you up in front of a restaurant when you're wasted and you don't feel like walking, you know, a quarter of a mile to find your car. Hit an app, walk out. The car just tracked your steps where it's going. It backs itself out of a parking lot,
Picks you up.
drives itself all the way to where you are in front of the restaurant, and it picks you up.
That's
What the hell?
Fucking crazy.
That is wild. So that company or that car company then is competing with Tesla or could?
Oh, most certainly.
Yeah.
You know, and it started with the self-driving. You know, that was a very big thing, and Tesla took that. But now, little do you know, you buy a nice Toyota Camry, and it has this lane assist where you could just watch it bounce in between lanes, and you don't have to touch the wheel.
So the beginnings of
Yeah, it's coming out now. A lot of cars are doing that, but Tesla started that, and now they're going over and beyond. Like, you don't even need to be in the car.
Right.
They'll come pick you up.
Jesus. I mean, I already know that Google used to use those cars too, and they would map like the entirety of the United States and other countries. They would have like self-driving cars going around and mapping the actual roads.
Mm-hmm.
So to see that, I mean, I've seen like a lot of the news where the cars like run people over, or it gets run into a tree, or it like, causes an accident, and they just pay off the liability and they pay off the insurance and everything.
Well, I'm a strong believer of this technology has already been out way before.
Yeah.
We're just releasing it in a matter of how we want to release it.
Right.
Because like you said, the Google car has been out way before that.
Way before.
Way before that. And it really started with, and I personally think, when it started with, if you put in on an address on your phone, on Google Maps, and you're close enough, it'll give you the option to walk.
Right.
It'll know when you take like a quarter of a step to the left, to the right,
Right.
forward. How is it so pinpoint accurate?
Right.
Things like that is what these cars now use to drive on the road.
That's
You have
crazy.
guys like marking down mile markers. You have guys when they do the roads, little things that they now put in place. And believe it or not, that's why, I think things are so expensive, just like in terms of like government and taxes, because,
Right.
To make these things happen,
Mm-hmm.
it costs a lot of money, infrastructure. How does the town afford these things, and
Right.
that's what they use. But I just feel like it's all technology like that has been out there, but they're releasing it in how they want to.
Very interesting stuff.
Talk to us real quick about the acceleration on these cars.
Okay. Any car nut would know this, but you look at a Tesla and you think it's your average, oh wow, it's a cool sedan.
Mm-hmm.
They are one of the fastest vehicles out there today on the road in terms of performance, 0 to 60, and acceleration, because electric is instant force. So you have a Model S that says, Model S P100D, okay? Some of these cars have over 600 horsepower, but they have more torque than horsepower.
Okay.
And you have all of that power at your pedal the second you hit it.
Damn.
I remember the first time driving one, it was a ludicrous Model S P100D.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this mode on the car that says insane, right? So you have, it's just like chill, standard, fast, very fast, insane.
Right.
You put in insane, right? And
Press the button for super.
And the car gives you, a warning, right? About just like, a safety warning. And when you put
we are not liable.
When you put it in insane and you just launch, your face, the skin on my face started peeling back, but my organs felt like it got pushed to the back for a quick second. And I'm saying this is going back about 4.5, 5 years ago.
Jesus.
And back then, that was a thing because I was really into cars. I love cars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love American muscle. I'm all about drag racing and really drifting, but those are two different types of racing.
Right. So you ain't about all this Fast and Furious shit, are you? You said American Muscle for sure.
I love that shit. I'm like,
you love it?
I'm like Vin Diesel.
Oh,
man.
you are Vin Diesel. All right.
Vin Diesel and American Muscle right there, pal. But
nothing wrong with it.
Those cars today, I mean, I always go to tracks, and I'm a big Tesla fan, but I'm an American muscle guy.
Okay.
I wouldn't show up with anything but noise and American muscle power. But
Right.
I remember this kid showing up with the Tesla, and I knew him. And, you know, I would never race him because I knew what these cars could put out. 5 years ago, back then, fastest car, nothing could touch it. You have guys with these blown V8 supercharged cars, fastest cars out there because, you know, all-wheel drive, instant torque, it's gone, you know, and it's electric. There's no shifting of gears. There's no nothing. It's really impressive, and I really encourage everyone to just drive one. I'm not saying I'd like it, but it's definitely something to own if you could afford it for fun.
Okay.
Not in the
Amongst
insane
other
mode.
cards. Oh, sure.
No
Maybe,
insane
maybe
mode.
on that chill
Right.
mode. Like,
If you want to
Actually.
chill, it's good to know that you can chill and be insane. You know, you have the option.
All right. So what's the 0 to 60 on insane mode?
Today, I think we have it close to like 2.4 miles an hour.
Jesus
2.4
Christ.
seconds, excuse me.
So as soon as you
That's
press the
fast.
pedal, you
You out.
already hit somebody.
You're not processing that.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
That's insane.
That's damn insane.
do you think Teslas have the huge hype, you know, that's built around them simply because of Elon Musk?
Most certainly.
Okay.
I mean, you know, aside from what we see,
hmm
the stock markets have proved that.
Yes, we know the Doge family we call him Papa Elon.
Yes. He goes out. You know, that's why Twitter should really, if they want to ban people, they should also ban him because he sells a hype.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody buys it.
You're damn right.
And then it goes up. And then people pull out.
Yeah,
now
especially
you're
when he
left-
goes on SNL.
Right.
We
and,
out.
and there you have it.
Yeah, and then we can do it all
Right.
over again. It's not
And
financial advice, by the way.
No, it's not fair, but it's definitely does have a hype,
Hmm.
but the hype is kind of real in a way.
Mhm.
But it
Right
should
on.
it should also really it shouldn't be made by one person though.
Right.
You know, it should be like a hype where it's a profitable hype for everyone.
Hmm. I mean, he's the richest, well, one of the richest in the world. And I always feel like it's because he's one of the richest in the world. That's where the hype comes from. Like they want to be around that prestige. And when I see him, like everyone remembers him for like taking like the biggest bong rip.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And being like extra chill online. Is that how he really is?
You know, I mean,
Wait, hold up. Rewind. I didn't know nothing about that.
Oh yeah, he was on. You never seen it? He was on the
No.
Joe Rogan podcast.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And he was getting
one of the best
baked.
podcasts.
Yeah, he was getting baked like a motherfucker. And there's like one shot of him like he's just holding it, he's just looking at it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and we're just like, damn, that's Elon Musk.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
he
But-
smokes so much weed he'll get the big man up top high.
Yeah.
he
You know
goes
what I'm
straight to
saying?
heaven.
Maybe that's why he come up with all these crazy ideas, bro.
For real.
Blowing it down too much.
Damn, he
You know,
blew one and he
He's
created
an
SpaceX
inspiration
off of
though
it.
to prove, you know, to
For
everyone
sure.
that smoking weed doesn't have much. I mean, listen, I mean, everyone's had bad experiences, but
Right,
smoking weed does not affect certain things. Well, especially not for Elon Musk.
for real.
That's the truth.
If Papa Elon could do it, everybody could do
Just calms a man like that down after just creating all kinds of crazy things, you know?
Making millions.
it. Actually,
But yo, what's the average price of a Tesla?
Right now, so it depends on, let's say you get a Model 3. They're plus or minus right around, by average, do you mean something that's like the S, the X, the 3, the Roadster? I mean, it ranges from 45 grand all the way up to about 400 grand.
Alright,
is
that's
it
a big
affordable?
difference.
Is it
You know,
affordable for
most certainly
people?
It's affordable.
Okay, so
that was the whole hype of bringing down like a Model 3, a Model Y,
Mhm.
lowering the Model S with like like a Model 75D.
Mhm.
It's definitely affordable. I mean, considering the price of cars today,
okay,
you know, they're definitely priced within that range.
all right. Is the Cybertruck part of that range?
Oh no, you know, and again, it really the Cybertruck. And again, I'm not also in sales, so I
Okay.
can't really give you a price on like a thing with sales and whatnot. But
Mhm.
just knowing with the company, they're priced within the upper percentile now of what your average cars are priced. You know, like a Ford F-150.
Okay,
You know, they're priced
sure.
upward of like 50 grand, 60 grand.
right.
You know, they're trying to hit that market. They're not trying to be super expensive.
So they like the name, the prestige that comes with the name, but they're trying to keep it affordable.
Correct. Which
Okay.
I feel you can't have the best of both worlds.
No, you can't.
You know, because then, you know, when you get a Tesla cheap and down, it's like, it's a Tesla when you get certain things.
Right.
You know, you want that high-end luxury life.
Yeah, you want that Porsche type of status.
Right. And even all these companies now today are doing things like that. So making it so affordable, Mercedes now has an A-Class. Like, what?
A-Class. Yeah, they made that
You
up.
know, Model 3, you know, it's like I was getting back to the interior of a Model 3.
Mm-hmm.
You jump inside, it's nothing crazy. It just looks like they took an iPad and they just put it right there.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at it right now. Yeah, it's literally just an iPad, like a large screen.
That's still wild to me. That's awesome.
You know, the one thing about a Model 3, what I don't like inside, though, is that you have this straight little cut in the dash and there's no way to adjust the air vents.
Oh.
What is that, man? Like, you know me, I love AC in a car, especially on a hot summer day. And now when I'm sitting, I'm a pretty big guy. When I'm sitting in them, I got to slap.
You got to slide all the way in.
You know?
Don't fall.
What about the insurance on these? Super high?
They've been getting pretty high because you get into an accident with them. It is kind of expensive to fix.
So it definitely has the prestige.
It does because, you know, they're all aluminum, certain models.
Right. Okay.
And, okay, well, why is aluminum expensive to fix? Well, there's all these requirements for body shops to be aluminum certified to fix these cars. So now there's only a handful of body shops that can fix a Tesla.
Okay.
So right there, it puts it above the average. Well, not your average mom and pop shop can fix
They're
it.
taking a much higher cut. Yeah.
Right. And then you take it to a dealership. Dealerships don't do that. So now the dealerships sublet it out to these body shops. And the body shops are still really like, you know, it's like you have a Tesla contract, right? But you have to really maintain a certain, you know, a certain cloud, like a certain, how shall I say, environment in terms of like, well, this is the Tesla store. So it's like you guys have to also be up to par with what we want. There's requirements. It has to be the high end look.
Yeah, I can liken it to like any of these places that fixes Apple phones. Like if you fix an Apple phone, you have to be known as Apple certified.
Right.
And your place has to be clean. It can't just be like some, you know, like pop-up shop in the ghetto.
Right. It's not in the basement where it's like, you know, it has to have certain requirements that Tesla comes by and checks and approves. So now you also really weed out about 75% of the competition.
Damn.
So, you know, yeah, it's going to be expensive. And what an insurance company realizes that you get into one accident and you need to replace a quarter panel on a Model S. And let's say it's upwards of like 35 grand. Okay. Now you have a deductible of, let's say, $1,000. Okay. They pay $1,000. The insurance company just paid out $39. For them to recoup that money from you, it's going to take some time. So what have they been doing? They've been pushing up your deductibles. It doesn't matter how great of a policy you have. And now if you have a Tesla and you have to fully, you know, insure it, full coverage, well, you have a minimum deductible of $2,500.
Okay.
You can't choose. Yeah, you could choose a $10,000 deductible to drop your premiums, but it starts to go up.
That's crazy. Just don't get into any accidents.
Right. Well, listen, in the state of New York, you know, you're only required to carry $10,000 of minimum coverage. So let's say now you're the guy who carries the $10,000 of minimum property coverage. What that means is if I have a Honda Civic because I'm poor and I can't afford my car insurance, I'm going to take the cheapest one I can.
You're damn right.
It means that all I'm responsible for is 10 grand. My insurance company, if I hit your house, if I rear end your Tesla, right? My insurance company will pay you out 10 grand.
And then that's it. You got to pay the rest.
You have to go through your company now to get the rest. People don't realize that in the state. Crazy. So now what could you do? You could sue me, but I'm the guy who can't afford my car insurance. Good luck, man. Christ. What are you going to get out of me? So you just lost money on both ends.
Right.
So
and your premium went up.
And your premium went up. And it wasn't your fault. You were just sitting at the stoplight.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a vicious cycle.
It is.
Don't drive Tesla. No.
The people who purchase Teslas, I mean, I guess your opinion from what you may have heard or seen, are the customers usually happy or, you know, are they displeased?
Oh, I think they're always happy because, you know, they know what they're getting into. Now, you are slightly displeased when you have to return to the service center multiple times when there's little issues, but these are also the same people that may have certain issues, but they come back and they buy other Teslas.
Right.
You know, because the customer service end of it is great.
So they return customers.
They are returning customers. But you also have, like you know, Josh was asking, it's certain people, are they happy? You have a certain clientele of people that like these cars. And you notice that, you know, and certain people are just, you know, you have to learn to deal with a certain group, you know. And sometimes I always make a joke where, like, there's some battery radiation coming off of this car, you know, because I think it's affecting everyone a little differently.
Right.
You know, sometimes you wonder if it's a cult, you know, like the little Subaru STI gangs, you know, it's like it's a cult. It's a car cult, but they love it. They keep coming back because the company gives a lot of incentives. The company always takes care of you, and the infrastructure, you know, the group of people that love those cars are also slightly techie or adrenaline junkies. They love the speed, the torque. And, you know, once you love certain things about a Tesla, such as those two, there's no other company that'll give you other.
That's actually really interesting that you said that. My girlfriend was telling me that we actually was watching Kevin O'Leary. I don't know if you know about him. He's in Shark Tank, and he actually invests in Tesla. And he says he doesn't see Tesla as a car company. He sees it as more of a data company, information company. So it's more of like a techie bent than it being a car company. So it's like really interesting to hear that.
They look at, you know,
big data.
They can really look into a car and see what happened, like in an accident. You know, certain things go wrong. You know, you kind of go into the car like a remote access through a computer to just do a quick diagnostics to see what's wrong.
Right.
And little do you know, they could tell you how hard you're driving at fast, speed, X and Y. And little things like that, it also helps a company develop a new model.
Right.
Like, how do people like driving these cars? You know, this guy had his foot to the floor. This car didn't have enough power for him. You know, a whole group did that. Let's do this. Let's do that. And that's smart in a way because it also helps retain that customer basis because, you know, like I said, it was a startup company and, you know, little do you not want to say it, but, you know, buying a car like this, not knowing how reliable they are, you're a bit of a guinea pig. You know, it's like trial and error.
Right. You're the beta tester.
Right. It was trial and error. So we're going to let this guy take this car, you know, let's see how long this lasts before it breaks. Let's see how long this lasts before it breaks. But little things like that, they also got a chance to fix it, test it, and perfect it. But that's why I also said Tesla's a great company because I'm a strong believer in the technology of certain things like electric was out there. And a lot of companies had their electric cars, but they never wanted to release it yet until Tesla came out. Right. Tesla came out and they broke that market.
And that's what makes me so happy about competition in general, because sometimes like a lot of like, especially Ford, they will get so into themselves. They make like, you know, for the time, they make the best cars that they have and they don't ever care to innovate on top of it. And honestly, I've always looked at electric cars as being like, you know, I was expecting us to be like Jetson status right now. Like flying cars right now. And this was like back in 2000. And I remember in like 2000, they were talking about electric cars like it was like the big coming innovation. And now here we are like 21 years later. And now we're finally like getting to the beginning of it. So it's kind of ridiculous.
You know, 1985, we had the Terminator with Arnold.
Shout out 85.
Shout out
85.
Actually.
All right, was it 85? No.
Yeah. It was around the 80s.
Right, the Terminator generation, right? The Terminator
right.
era. And now today we have iRobot. So I think, you know, it's coming.
Yeah.
You know, the flying cars may be there.
Hopefully.
You know, if 85 to 2000 is a 15-year gap, you know, we'll hopefully, knock on wood, all three of us will be around in 15 years. But I think we may see that flying car.
You're damn right. I'm trying to see it.
Absolutely.
You know,
it'd be wild. But we're going to take a quick break.
Sounds good.
But before we do, we want to remind all our listeners to please find us on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Google, and Twitter.
Twitter, too.
And that is at IAR Podcast. And by using the platform of your choice, please subscribe, follow, share, comment, leave a quick review and a 5-star rating on the Apple page.
Please bless.
And with that being said, we'll be right back.
All right.
So I have a question for our listeners out there. Do you own a computer? Are you having trouble with broken screens, data backup issues, password reset problems, virus spyware removal, software installation issues? If so, Slipstream Repair Computer Electronic Solutions has you covered. Contact Timothy Latunde at 845-204-1712. The email is ss.sho16@gmail.com. Once again, that is 845-204-1712. And the email is ss.sho16@gmail.com. Call or email to schedule a free consultation. it's all relative. Still with us in studio, Avi Harrindranauth. Now, about 2 weeks ago, the world, us, the general public, was hit with some news coming out of the Tesla camp by Elon Musk saying that Tesla will build a humanoid robot designed to do simple tasks. Okay.
A humanoid robot.
Some of these tasks would include or involve building cars.
Okay.
I also read grocery shopping, etc.
Right.
Simple, quote unquote, simple tasks.
Right.
But this is huge, right?
Yeah, that's pretty huge.
Yes. Some people still may not be able to wrap their heads around
Yeah.
it, like thinking like an actual robot.
Right.
You
And some
know what I'm
people
saying?
thinking that, tomorrow they build them Terminators.
Yeah. Well, I
So-
mean, what's your opinion on this, both of you guys?
Okay, let me go first though.
Go ahead.
As far as robots, I think it's kind of cool. Like I've always been into manufacturing, so I know for a fact that a lot of people, a lot of human, like these menial manual tasks are already being automated by robots anyways. And like we were saying before with the cars, they're very precise. So if not for like all of the external like horrors that could come with like things being like robots, I think they would do exactly the task that you give it, right? And it could also have the potential to build up the country because of course people would not be doing certain tasks anymore, but we would start to have our children go to school to learn how to maintain the robots. You know what I mean? Instead of doing like all of those manual or menial tasks or manual tasks and people dying, for example, like coal mining and stuff, like all that shit could be automated and we could have people actually maintaining, the actual robots instead of like doing those tasks.
Right, but that using the robots and whatnot, that would eliminate
It
all
would-
the menial
Jobs. Yeah,
So
no, I agree.
there's an argument with that, but that's what I was saying, that instead of doing that, you would send people to school, teach them how to use computers, teach them how to do, maintenance work. They're still going to need maintenance work on the robots themselves. You know what I mean? I'm saying it more like that. Like instead of actually doing those tasks, you would be teaching them more like technical stuff
Right.
that actually pays more anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are tilting your head, but that's how I feel about it.
No, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, you want to touch on that?
Yeah.
On what you just said about in
Right.
terms of like sending people to school for the robots. Like, I mean, in theory, listen, me personally, yes, I get it. It's cool. It's a good idea. But
Mhm.
in terms of taking away, the menial jobs, not everyone's meant to be a tech.
Right. That's
yeah,
true. Very
You
true.
have people who are, a blue collared worker,
Mhm.
versus someone who's not, and at the end of the day, there's only the robots are meant to, take away jobs. It's not
Right.
meant to also employ people
Right.
because the whole point of the robot is to decrease the money spent for the jobs. You're not going
Right.
to increase the money spent to maintain it. Because
Right.
then where's that going to come from? Excuse me.
No, it's fine. Well,
Now, why I say that is because these robots are very expensive. Don't
Okay.
get me wrong.
I see.
They
I
would
see.
never put them in a coal mine. They would put them in things where you could work on the cars, like you said, because they're precise. But the problem is when you start over manufacturing something because the pressure is on. It's all about production, efficiency, key. Everything comes back to time and money. How fast can we get it? We need it now.
Okay.
Right? If that's the case, things start getting mass produced, and that's a problem, right? Because now you're not going to be able to afford this actual thing that this robot's going to be producing because it's going to be expensive. I see it becoming a more and more expensive thing down the road.
I see.
There's more profit for the person up top, but it's still going to be just as expensive.
Right. I did see. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did see that the cost for a Tesla bot would start at 4Gs,
Okay.
which I don't know. Does that seem like a lot or a little for a robot?
I think it's
mean,
cheap.
I think that's pretty cheap, too.
Personally,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
what I
much. On the company standpoint, I don't know much about the bot, but just from the little you hear about it, it sounds like another, we have devices out there like we were talking about. We want to give away our rights to have all these cool things like Alexa. Come on, boys, Alexa.
Yeah.
it knows your thoughts. It knows what you're saying.
Alexa
what
knows
you're
everything,
thinking, right?
for sure.
The robot is like we said, there's all this data processing. What about if it's made in China?
Hmm.
We were getting back to
Very
that
true.
topic earlier. Things are mass produced for data mining. I mean, if so it is, this robot is man made. Okay, we all got to remember this. These things are also man made. It's not robot made. In time to come, you have a disgruntled employee. Like we were saying previously, could be a day like Judgment Day.
Okay.
The Terminator, crazy things can happen. It's cool. We love it. It's awesome. But
So walking it back, would you have more of an issue with it being produced in China versus here? What if it was produced here?
listen, man, I mean, I love the country we live in.
Mhm.
I'll be a little patriotic right now. I'm all about taking care of what's going on right now.
Right.
The world is a crazy place, as we can see. And
That it is.
and honestly,
Very true.
whilst we're here, I just want to kind of put my support on what's going on right now. Like, in Afghanistan, in times like this, things are crazy. And I think a robot, in the wrong hands, it can get very, very bad because these things are all man-made. And, one disgruntled person and in the United States in a household, that's bad. Now, listen, I'm not saying it can't happen in the United States, but I'd rather see it at least get built here where we're
Right.
employing people. Because like you said, if we're going to build a robot and take away jobs, let's at least give some jobs back.
Oh, that's true. We could definitely give some jobs back. I mean, now, there's always been like this idea that it would cost way too much to build stuff here, and I don't understand that at all.
Because, it's taxed so much, and it's the same thing with the company. Why do we mass produce so many of our Tesla products in China? There's so many
Right,
problems.
and then send them here.
Right, because the problem is the cars, there's so many things that are built here, and then it comes from a different country. The fitment isn't the same. There's always a problem. There's always a key efficiency thing there, where if we do it all here, it would be better in a sense where, it's personally, like we said, getting back to jobs and things like that. But
Right.
What you just said comes back to a tax standpoint because it's cheaper to do things in a different country. So it's, how about we keep it so that it's cheaper to do things here? We put a tax to send it out in a different country,
Right.
Let's
Right.
keep it here.
Yeah, I would say
know?
we keep it here, give them tax breaks.
Because listen, you
You know
give
what I
tax
mean?
breaks in theory, more people work, you pay taxes.
Right.
You make money, you travel, you spend your money.
Right.
It's all trickle down economics and this cycle goes on. But
Mm.
the bots, it could be a 50-50 thing with me. It could be cool, but it could also be a big problem.
Judgment Day. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, I like to always say or ask, maybe James Cameron was right all along.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Where's our Sarah Connor, guys?
Actually, we need Sarah Connor. She need to save us.
But Musk said that the robot, which is codenamed Optimus, is based on the same chips and sensors that Tesla cars use for self-driving features.
Very interesting.
That is interesting. I mean, reliable? Yeah.
Precise.
It's,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a good question.
Oof. To an extent, yes, it will be precise, but getting back to what we said, they're coded to do one thing. You know what I mean? Humans make errors. What's this robot going to be dealing with, functioning with? You know what I mean? Like a Tesla, for example, you're driving an autopilot and a deer jumps out. It's meant to plow right through it.
Right.
You know what I
It's
mean?
meant to just hit it and keep
Right,
going.
that's considered an act of God.
Right.
You know what I mean? A deer jumping out. It's the world we live in. So now you're going to mix just man-made with human nature. And, it's just weird. Technology with day-to-day life, robots walking around dealing with things. Something happens, people frustration. Come on, bro.
Yeah. As a person who works at Tesla, do you get into arguments with people that work at Tesla?
Oh, dude, I'm in the body industry. So, like, heck no.
Okay,
us
okay.
guys, in that aspect, no, we're more, it's different. But like, when you go into like the service center,
Yeah, you don't have
for
to.
example,
You have to deal with the techies.
right. When you get into the service center, for example, there's a big problem because, they could tell you what to do. It's all about reading and techie, tell you what to do. It's all fun and games, but it said, come out here and show me actually what to do. Anybody could read about it today. I mean, it's 2021, bro.
Right.
You could all read the diagram, but come here and fix certain errors. It's different. It's different. The world, there's a big clash right now. And,
Very true.
you definitely have to get with the curve, but to an extent, techie and certain other hands-on things don't work, especially with like, unless you're personally designing it and putting it together, that's one thing.
Right.
All right. The robot, I've read, is going to be about 5'8", all right? Has a screen where the head is for useful information.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tesla is designing it so that humans will be able to run away from the robot or overpower it.
Run away from the robot or overpower it.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, in the event it
That's-
acts up and decides to want to kill you because there's something crazy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why would
So why do we need a shut off kill switch feature?
Actually.
That's
Something that will just turn it
basically
off, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I wish they could define a little better overpowering it. You know what I'm saying? I don't. So, if one of these robots were to get a little out of control,
Mhm.
like where you just
Just go a little
Mm.
crazy.
knock it in the face, you know what I'm saying? Or I mean,
Break
is
your
that
hand
over?
on the crazy metal, you're done. The robot dude, the
Well,
mechanisms these things are going to be made with. In theory, that bot can just probably swipe your head right off. if
Well,
you
I would
really
I would
wanted
ask,
to.
like, is the bot that precise to be able to go after you? Like, because as a human, you have like a randomized way of thinking. What if you just wanted to like zigzag around the robot? I mean, is the robot going to chase you in that zigzag pattern?
if
You know
he
what I mean?
uses Tesla sensors, those cars do 100 miles an hour in autopilot and can take a road.
Okay, so a car
you
could just
tell
run you
me.
over. Shit,
Yeah, I forgot about that. So then
get on
but
high ground.
see, then that-
the car can't jump, so I'm
that
gonna
don't
jump
make
higher.
sense though, because it said that that we should be able to run away
For
from
real.
it. But if it's that fast,
Have we not
you
seen
know?
enough movies like
we
iRobot?
have.
Has Will Smith not taught us anything? Come on, guys.
I think we have.
We've seen Transformers.
Right, we definitely seen
He's naming
Transformers.
it Optimus.
Yep,
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Optimus Prime.
Now, if it turned into a Camaro, maybe we could say, all right, boys, let's all think about it. But if not, 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of steer it towards like kind of asking, like, are we this whole robot thing? Are we really talking like we had mentioned, like Terminator, iRobot outcomes? You know what I'm
Not
saying?
in our lifetime.
no,
maybe, though.
Wait.
You mean
Wait.
like you talking about like if things become like iRobot and Terminator level, like where they take over and
Where
they
if something gets shifted and like let's just say,
They become
because it
sentient?
sounds a little comical, but what if like the machine or not machines, excuse me, but the robots, what if they turn? You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Well, I would wonder if that would be more of a like a logical problem. Like, do they want robots to feel more human? Because you can just take out that human element. I would say that if they wanted to overturn, that's like a human element. Yeah, we're going to rebel against our masters because
But you're giving it a human task.
right.
So
But you can just do
it's-
human tasks, right? You can just like move something or
Right there.
screw something
right there,
into
that
something.
answers the question, I would say.
That's
Because,
interesting.
Listen, if it has to do human tasks, it has to interpret certain things.
Right,
okay?
right. That's very
It
true.
has to produce certain things.
Mhm.
Now, just like we were talking about with Alexa, it decides to figure out a way to data mine what you like and listen to and compiles it itself. The Spotify you use on music you pick puts together your own album. Data,
Right.
it compiles and it does,
Mhm.
it does what you like based on your searches. So of course it will, right?
Okay.
That thing will figure you out in time to come, and
Mhm.
it could really be a catastrophe. I really do think so. Now, listen, you could maybe call me just like, oh, you're crazy, dude.
Mhm.
You don't like technology. But in theory, it will, because, things are just so mass produced to the point where, like you said, China, this and that, but we don't realize what really goes behind a lot of it. Okay, now we're not no one super important, or at least I don't think, to where, who'd want to like go after you or do things like this. But in theory, there are a lot of people out there in the world who these things will be a huge asset to.
Mhm.
Can you define?
Oh
on
yeah,
that?
I mean, it's going to be mass produced where certain rich people. I mean, listen, certain people of importance will buy them, give them to their kids, family members. You want it for yourself, X, Y, and
It's
Z.
very interesting.
And then
very
all of a
true.
sudden, in time to come, you'll find someone. I mean, as anyone
Mhm.
who loves and can code things, even someone sick on the. Find someone from the dark web that can just hack all of them at the same time and
Right,
do their
and do crazy
battling.
stuff with
What'll
it.
happen then?
That's
you
what I
find
was gonna
someone on the
ask.
dark web. All right.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying anything crazy here, but
Conspiracy
it's
theorists.
just it's and this has nothing to do with, again, I know nothing about the bot in that sense, but I know
Mhm.
enough to where how programming works. Okay, and in that sense, you find someone on the dark web Okay, and we've seen it. There's movies and things that we've seen it, okay, because they all use a simple thing, a code.
Okay.
They all operate off of a code, and you find a way to overwrite that and operate it. You have it do whatever you want to do. Cars today can be coded to where they drive themselves and pick you up in X, Y, and Z. You could use that car as a weapon without even being in it to do ridiculous things.
Right, automated to just run into people.
What makes you think you can't do that to this humanistic robot that's going to do everything a human can do? It could walk down the stairs right now holding a gun and just walk back up because there's cameras and there could be someone operating it.
And
now,
are you
listen,
saying
that's
that
crazy? It's crazy to think, but why would we want that? We have a hard enough time dealing with what we have. You don't want something like that to. I just think it's cool, you know, to do certain things like you said, certain important things.
Yeah, like the certain tasks that should be automated for efficiency, honestly.
Right.
Which quote unquote they're being designed to do.
Okay, so that's what they're being designed to do.
To do the simple tasks.
Right.
To the guy who wants to buy it to put on his tractor so it can mow his lawn, sir, please just hire a landscaping company. You know, and they will be more personal. You can have a great conversation with them when they're done.
And they're gonna do a better job than you.
Do a better job, you know. Yeah. Not just you and your robot, you know, you don't have to worry about storing them. It's just
I mean, and I guess there's that human element that'll still be there too. Yeah.
Well, people are really smart, and I feel like people can hack anything.
Of course, they can.
Well, think about it. If someone's making it, they have to know the ins and outs to it.
Right.
You write the code. You know it. You know, it's of course it'll be hacked. You know, it's just the history has proven it.
It would make me wonder, why aren't they getting better about security? Because that means they need to hire some of these hackers and be like, hey, how do you get through, you know, to hack it so that you can block? We will pay you more to put up shields or whatever. You know what I mean? To protect. I mean, I'm sure there's always going to be other hackers. I guess that's the cat and mouse game that most security companies and hackers play. Like, oh, you built a new security thing, I'm going to try and break into it.
Exactly.
But keep them in that game, and while we can drive safe, you know, like you can keep the cat and mouse game going on forever.
That's right. There's no reinventing that wheel.
Right.
It's just, it'll always be there.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree too. I'm still trying to just to envision doing your everyday normal activities with some robots and shit, walking around or driving around. You know, that's weird to even think about, but
it's gonna be soon.
But like we had said, you know, they're said to be intended to be friendly. You know what I'm saying?
Friendly, so they have emotions.
I mean, I don't know. This is from you know, Elon Musk saying they're intended to be friendly.
Intended to be friendly. That means he's not even 100%.
And navigate through a world of humans.
Jesus Christ.
And like we had said, they're going to eliminate dangerous, repetitive, and boring tasks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So he's basically creating Mega Man right now.
Which, yeah. I mean, a lot of it did focus on the car aspect of, like, you know, these robots are going to be programmed or whatnot to know how to, like, turn wrenches, to do, like,
that's what I thought.
The bullshit stuff, you know, all involving cars to, like, I think we had touched on. To make more, you know, pay people less, or I mean, you don't even gotta pay nobody.
Well,
you know
that's what I was saying.
And then have these robots just building these cars,
right? And that's what I was saying before. I was saying that they're basically gonna do those menial tasks, those turning wrenches and, you know, screwing in bolts and stuff, and cutting things that need to be cut. But the point is that that's why when those people get replaced, they should be going into do more technical stuff. Like, I feel either way, whether they like it or not, somebody like a big Tesla is going to come in and be like, all right, we want to automate all this shit. All y'all got to get out. You know what I mean? Or you can go to school. If he's nice, he'll say, you can go to school and learn how to do this. If not, you got to find a new job. And I feel like if Tesla powers through and makes this happen, that shit's going to happen regardless, because it's going to go to many other companies that have nothing to do with cars. You know, what if they want to, like, you know, build something else, like homes or parts for homes, or even like cutting wood, or, you know, doing like any number of things that is typically automated. You know what I mean? Like an assembly line, for example.
But that is scary.
That is
That
scary.
you see these things there, you know,
Of
and
course.
then you'll have maybe 2 guys managing the office.
Managing the office. That's
where
what I'm
you have
saying.
a couple hundred of these robots.
Right.
You know, it's just, I feel like that is just, it's weird.
Yeah.
Mind,
You know,
Right.
it's weird.
Right.
It's weird. You know, we should be using these things too when we want to go to moon, like the moon, the space. You know,
Mhm.
you want to go to space, fine. You know, you want to go to the moon, fine. You
Mhm.
know, you want to send 1,000 troops into war, try these things out for what you want to do.
Right.
Not those, you know what I mean? It's just, it's, you know, we use human lives for so much less. How about we try it for that? You know, not take away the jobs of the mechanics, because if you're a 40-year-old guy, 50-year-old guy, not even,
Mm-hmm.
you know, someone turning a wrench or doing that, you know, construction worker, guy who cuts wood.
Right.
Some people love that stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
There's an art to it. Some people love it, but
Mhm.
there's also more to it.
Sound
There's
like you running for
no-
president over here. Yeah.
Oh, trust me. I would love to, by the way, guys. You know, we'll always keep that in mind. You know, but it comes back to, you know, you still have to think about these guys. Some people, you know, like I said, they're not meant for certain things, and that takes a certain level of skill to do. But in terms of the jobs it will take away, you know, these guys, you know, you can't afford to do all that. There's no way some of these guys can also learn to change, you know. I mean, when you're in your 40s and your 50s, you know, you're stuck in your old ways. You know, my father's a guy who, you know, is now a millionaire, but he came from a third world country like Guyana. You know,
Yeah.
he
And he
to this
built
day,
up on it.
he still can't technically write a proper paragraph without making a grammatical error,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh shit.
Yet alone speak it, right? You can still understand him clearly, but there's just going to be some sort of grammatical error somewhere in there. You know, he has like that slight accent,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
But he was a mechanic his whole life. He did well with it. You know, he started with certain cars
Mhm.
and realized that, you know, in the 80s, 90s, that European cars were the way to go if you're going to be in mechanics.
Mhm.
And then when the 90s to 2000s came in, electric cars were the way to go. You know, he stayed with the curve, so you make your money with it.
Right.
My point is, he never had to do that school end aspect of it. Yes,
Okay.
there is a level of skill.
Right,
You
right,
have to
right.
stay with the industry. So
Right.
you are right. You know, you're not going to be the guy who's still working on a carbureted car, because there's a dying market for that.
Right. Right. Right.
Things have changed. But in terms of staying with it, yes. But in terms of taking away those jobs now, if you have a robot that does everything a mechanic or body guy could do,
Mhm.
it's really gonna make a big impact on, well, can these guys do from here on out? You
Right.
know, I feel like the
Okay.
robot should be used for certain other things.
So you would think it's a like more of a net negative.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, not to disrespect or talk down on any people that work in that field, but like how you had mentioned, Tim, was that, you know, maybe then if the robots took these jobs and whatnot, then we would try to give them schooling.
Give them
and
schooling,
teach 'em.
whether it's technical or whatever. Yeah.
But maybe some of these people on this level, maybe school and that route is not the way for them. You know,
That's
what I'm saying?
true.
It,
Very
it may
true.
be too
It
difficult,
may be too difficult.
or you know, maybe they just that's not their shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
And not to be political about it, but that was one of the biggest reasons for 2016, because you know he basically came in. He said, "Hey guys, you know they're taking all of these jobs, they're making it more, you know, automated." And a lot of people were saying, "Yo, I can't even go back to school if it was even possible. You know, I'm 50 something years old, or I'm not. I just don't like school. You know, I went to technical school or whatever.
But it was also because it was so very expensive.
It's very. It's also expensive.
Not
Yeah.
for everybody, you know, and that's a big problem, because, you know, it's not fair, regardless if your family doesn't have money, you're a young kid
Right.
going into this society. You know, it should be a little cheaper for people. Even
It
when you
really
do
should.
have money, it's still a lot of money.
Right,
you
right,
know?
right. And that, I mean, I wasn't trying to like say that it was a bad thing or a good thing that would happen. I'm saying that it's an inevitable thing, because a lot of these companies, they don't really care. They just care about that money, and they're like, "Yo, what's going to be the most efficient?" And that's the whole robot shit right there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So that's the crazy thing. So it was my hope that they would at least want to retain some people
Right.
by doing stuff like that.
But coming back to money and things like that, you know, earlier today, you know, every morning when I get up, I always just go on my phone. And I always look at certain things, and you know, I caught this this video on Snapchat, and it it was funny because, you know, they were talking about Abu Dhabi, about
Mhm.
abandoned cars out there,
Mhm.
right? And me being a car guy with Tesla and everything, you know, there was just an abandoned lot with nothing but $1 million cars, right? Just sitting there. I mean, Lamborghinis, certain AMGs, Ferraris, McLarens, just sitting there.
Right.
And it made me wonder, like, how is this country so rich? You guys are beyond rich.
Right.
Okay. Upper middle class would really have to save up a couple years to really spend a nice vacation over there. How are they so rich?
Mhm.
Okay. And we want to look at building a robot that says save the environment, save the world, or do certain things in America to make it easier.
Right.
And it comes back to they're rich because of all their oil.
Right. Very
Okay.
true. Yeah.
They're rich because of
Very
all
true.
their oil. So
Yeah.
why do we not learn something from that? Learn something from the oil. Okay. Do something right with it. You know,
Do something right. Do something right with the oil.
you know how much oil it's going to take to make the robots? Crude oil.
Yeah.
It's a lot of plastic.
Right.
A lot of plastic.
Okay, so at least they're plastic made at least.
You got to charge them.
Right.
How do you charge them? You got to plug them into the wall.
Right.
You got to still get electricity. You know,
Right.
I don't see a guinea pig running under anyone's house here powering it. You
No.
know, or a
Very true.
treadmill, somebody running on it, giving natural power.
Right. It's very true. It actually is similar to our previous episode. The guy that we had on, he was talking about it needs a lot of electricity to mine crypto. So very similar thing. Like to build all this stuff. It's actually kind of crazy.
But you know, it's a smart way. You know,
Mhm.
there are a lot of natural things that are already going on, but we don't take advantage of it.
Hmm.
You look at Niagara Falls,
Right.
the amount of energy, and then we do have something set up with turbines for that, but the
Mhm.
amount of energy that's used when the falls hit the ground and the water, right? The
mhm.
cycle, you could use that natural energy to power just about most of Canada.
Right.
You
Crazy.
know? We use things like that. That's
Right.
natural, God given. You know what I mean? This earth is a natural thing. You know, that's why we always wonder why there's these tsunamis or hurricanes or this or that.
Mhm.
The earth is a living being. It does what the human body does. You cut yourself, you get a scab, it heals. The earth does things to regenerate itself.
Right.
And the more we do things like with these plastic products that are just so disposable. I mean,
Mhm.
products are so disposable today. You know, plastic. These cars, when they go, cars aren't meant to last the way they were used to.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
All of a
Nothing.
sudden,
Truth.
everything
Yeah.
is so plastic. You know, we
Right.
crush them, we dump them, they go to a landfill.
Right.
We try to recycle them, but we really don't because then
No.
all of a sudden you realize there's cancer in it and there's this and that. It's just, we're creating a bigger mess.
Fucking
and even,
crazy.
you know, and it's sad because I'm 27,
Mhm.
you know, by the way, buddy, you're not old. You know, earlier you say, not
I
old at
appreciate
all.
that.
Not
Okay.
old at all.
Appreciate that.
We're not
Actually.
old, okay? I feel like our generation experienced the best of life before it really hit.
For
You know,
real.
we saw a lot, but it really changed a lot recently. It changed a lot.
Yeah. Especially
Technology.
the pandemic, especially.
Oh, the pandemic, that's a whole nother aspect.
whole nother
I mean, you
aspect.
know, which I'd love to talk about with you guys on another podcast, you know, but the pandemic, it's one thing, but the technology has changed. I mean, look, this
Mhm.
laptop, it's awesome. It's great.
Mhm.
Okay. But look at the amount of plastic used to make it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
The whole damn thing is plastic.
And then all of a sudden it goes, things gets destroyed. We throw it out. We toss it.
Yep.
Okay. The newer group wants to talk about saving the energy, saving the planet. And, you know, and that's great with the Teslas and this whole thing. But
Right.
we don't realize how much the current, even ourselves, but yet alone the current generation uses on
Mhm.
plastic.
Mhm.
You know, I have a nice iPhone 11 here, but I want to get the new one. I've only had it for 2 years. I'm probably going to get rid of it in the next 2 months.
Jesus.
How has society pushed me to get a new phone every two
Right.
and a half years?
Well, it's Apple. Apple told you
Okay.
you want every 2 years.
I know. And they dispose of
Or
these
else.
things, you know, and they all go to a landfill.
Right.
You know, what happens to all that? Which is a whole nother,
See, that's the crazy thing. I used to think that when you turn in an Apple iPhone, I know, of course, whichever ones that are like 2 or 3 previous generations, they will resell it. But everything else that you turn in way before that, they just give that shit to China or they just give it to a landfill or send it to like Africa or some crazy shit.
yeah, but what does China want? China's not going to want an
China's
iPhone
not going to
11.
want it. That's what I'm saying. So it's so crazy how we just get rid of stuff too. Yeah. It's amazing.
All valid points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys want to touch on anything else about this? Any last thoughts about this robot and whatnot? I do want to just mention real quick too. I don't know if you guys have seen. I don't know where you guys do your grocery shopping and whatnot, but there have been for the last few years now. I feel like, but some weird robot kind of thing that goes around in Stop and Shop. If you ever
For
go,
real?
where
What the fuck?
it beeps and whatnot and just goes, and if there's like a mess or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
it beeps and it you know, says, you know, clean up on aisle whatever.
Oh,
Like, you know,
interesting.
and this thing just travels and goes around, you know,
In Stop and Shop?
interact
Never seen
interact
it.
between people. Yeah, it's a big I don't know, it looks like a big kind of cone thing
Right.
on wheels. And
Okay.
it just
Does it take
goes
up the
around.
entire aisle when it goes
no,
through?
you can still walk through it and whatnot. Like, you can walk right by it and whatnot. It just does its thing.
Okay.
kinda,
So
which-
it's like a Roomba or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time seeing that.
Yeah.
And
Even that's crazy.
Yeah, and even thinking like, you know, I didn't even know what the hell that was.
Right. And as it's bumping into stuff.
Yeah,
Explains why their prices have been going up.
Actually.
You know, things like that make it very expensive. You know, and it gets back to the shopping and getting back to what you said about grocery shopping. You know, I like. You know, at the end of the day, it's all about where can you get good, affordable products. But as you know, I'm a big health nut. You know, I love eating.
Mm.
Listen, I mean, everything today, it's hard to say what's not processed and processed. But
Actually,
yeah.
I
I've been
try
telling
to
myself that.
I try to do a lot of my my gardening myself. If not, I go to my parents. My mother loves gardening. I'll go there, get my tomatoes, a lettuce. You know, excuse me. They have a little bit of a little chicken coop,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of chickens, but I really try to keep it as local as possible.
Okay.
So I go right up in Millbrook, little mom and pop stores where things are natural. You know,
Right.
farm raised stuff. It's good for you. It's different because, you know, you notice, man. The other day I stopped by my old high school and I saw this senior, and it was a hit or miss. I mean, I saw a senior that looked like he was about 12 years old, and I saw another senior who was about 6'7",
Jesus.
and, you know, had a full beard. And it was just like, well, what are you eating? You know?
Oh my God.
And I was at load of McDonald's.
Right,
you know,
basically.
there's a lot of processed food in that. You know?
Actually. Time for me to get up out of here.
All right. Before we dip, I want to get everyone's prediction. I want to shift gears real quick.
Sure.
Unless you guys want to say anything else.
No, I'm
about
good on
the.
it.
You guys good?
Good on those
You good?
robots.
All right. I got to get everyone's prediction. Now, when this episode drops, this event will have already taken place. All right. But tomorrow evening, Sunday, August 29th,
Mm-hmm.
big fight, pay-per-view,
Okay.
Jake Paul versus Tyrone Woodley.
Jake Paul.
Who's winning and how? I want to get everyone's prediction. I mean,
Jake Paul for real.
let's first start off. Everyone's familiar or knows who Jake Paul is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I just recently learned because we had a few episodes back. We had to talk about it
Yeah.
because one of the which Paul brother was it who fought?
I think it was Jake Paul.
Floyd.
Yeah.
Was it?
Let's find out. Just to be sure.
That's how I really. Or actually, whichever one of these brothers knocked out Nate Robinson was,
Yeah,
when I
right.
first. And then, like I had said, because I had no idea who they were, and they came out of nowhere, but they've been kind of doing their thing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
It was Logan Paul. Actually,
Okay.
it was his brother.
Listen, I think Tyrone will knock him out
Mhm.
insanely because listen,
Insanely.
there's double the amount of knockouts. Okay, there's a big age discrepancy. Because there's a slight strength that listen. There's also the advantage on one point where there's age experience knockouts.
Right.
Okay, knowing to fight. There's also the other advantage with Paul where he has the height, the length difference.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
so we'll see. But I think you know it's definitely interesting, like you said, because you know I think what that there's what about almost like a 12-15 year age gap between the two of them.
Right.
Right.
You know who's
So-
winning? The fucking Paul brothers is winning. The motherfuckers is getting mad rich off of this shit, fighting all these random ass people. Like that whole KSI thing, it was a joke at the time.
Well, it looks like it's gonna be wings and pizza
And
that
pizza.
night. All right?
Exactly.
We're
Thank
gonna
you.
see about that. All right.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm getting it for free. So shout outs to getting it free. But still, it was so funny because when I saw that old KSI shit, it was just like a joke. They were just like dancing around. It was like two YouTubers dancing around. These dudes are known for doing wacky and stupid shit when they were doing YouTube, but now they have taken whether it's like just to make money or whatever. These motherfuckers is actually trying to take boxing seriously. So it's actually really cool to see. And I've seen like a lot of people go from, oh, who the fuck are these people? They're a joke, to, oh shit, they're actually like really trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they played the game and they played it well. They've learned it
very well.
They've learned the rules pretty quick
For
because
real.
it's all entertainment. But they know how to soak up that money.
They know how to soak up that money,
especially from the haters.
Yeah.
Because when you hear about this, every time we hear about one of these Paul brothers fighting, we're always like, oh damn, I want so and so to
win.
knock their
this
ass
motherfucker out.
You know?
Right.
But it's crazy because the Paul brothers keep on winning. Now I know that Jake Paul, even though he's won and done his thing so far, he hasn't fought a real fighter yet, like
That's
a legit
true.
fighter.
Very true.
Tyrone Woodley is an ex-UFC fighter.
Mhm.
Now he's a boxer.
Okay.
But this man can fight. He's got his totals of knockouts and whatnot is crazy.
Oh, through boxing? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely going to be a good fight.
So what will happen if we have our next episode and Jake wins? You gonna get that respect?
I do respect.
We need
I
to see how it
respect
happens.
him already.
We need to see how it happens.
You want to see how it happens?
Because me, I'm lay it down. I'm gonna lay it down and say I'm saying that Woodley's gonna win, but by decision.
By decision?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think. I don't know. I mean, he can very well knock Jake Paul out, but we
Right.
haven't seen that happen yet. So I think it's gonna come down.
It's
to,
money either way.
Very true, but so I got Woodley winning
Mhm.
on a decision. Who'd you
On a
got, bro?
decision.
Agreed. Woodley.
Yeah.
Woodley.
You
I'm
going with?
gonna say Jake in 4.
All right.
just to piss everybody
My
off.
man.
Yeah.
All right, you heard it, because like I said, that'd be dope if that happens.
If it does happen, I'll
You
be like,
called it.
yo, that boy got in there. I mean, or if not, everyone's gonna be like, well, yeah,
Lucky
he got
shot.
his ass beat.
Lucky shot.
Yeah, lucky shot, right? Whop.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
the only thing that I do that I feel like is on Jake Paul's side. He has trained with. So when I read up on it, he's trained with a really good coaching
Coaching
staff.
staff, right.
They've been in Puerto Rico for the last I don't know however long, but for a minute.
Yeah, learning the sweet science. down there.
Focused,
Yeah.
sweating his ass off, training. But like I said, from what I've seen too, it looks like Woodley's ready.
Woodley? Okay.
Woodley's ready, but
You-
like I said, we'll find out tomorrow night.
We will. And you know what else is really funny? I hope both Jake and Logan like talk more shit to Mike Tyson. Because after the Floyd Mayweather thing, they were sending mad tweets trying to get Mike Tyson pissed off. And I'm like, all right,
Really?
yeah, yo, he's a killer. He ain't no fucking boxer. He don't box for money. So if you wanna fight Tyson even at his age right now,
He will murder
Yeah, exactly.
both of them.
Exactly.
Okay, let them both come in at
Let
him.
them- yeah.
Tyson is an animal.
Is an animal.
He always been an
Been
enemy.
destroying
He's
shit.
got one of my favorite quotes too. Like he had said something along the lines of like, the internet has made everyone comfortable enough to like talk their shit
Right.
without getting punched
Without
in the
getting
face.
punched in the face.
You know,
Amen.
everyone forgot how it feels
For
to
real.
get hit. You
For
know,
real.
but Mike Tyson is a beast. I feel if the Paul brothers were really doing that, that's playing with the lions.
They really are.
Good luck with that shit.
Actually. Yeah. I like how everyone says good luck with it. He's an actual killer. Yeah.
So, all right, Avi, we want to thank you, bro,
Yeah,
for
appreciate you.
agreeing to come on and being part of It's All Relative. You know, we making art and we making history, so we appreciate you for being a part of it. Bro.
Appreciate you for real.
Brothers, I appreciate you both. It's been a pleasure and it's a lot of fun.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything or anyone in particular you want to shout out or plug?
Nah, no shout outs.
No.
No shout outs.
No shout
What
outs for
about
him.
your social net or social media platforms?
Guys,
You
you
got-
can follow me at AviH94 on Instagram or Avi Harrindranauth if you want to find me on Facebook.
Mhm.
Nice. You want to
Okay.
hit them with your social?
So Tunde 2017 for that Instagram. TUNDE 2017. As for Twitter, that is Retro Show. RETROSHO. You see the camera, you know it's me.
And you guys can always find me at Josh_Toth3. That's my Instagram.
Mhm.
My Facebook is Joshua Toth. We also want to take this time to shout out our editor, YO, aka Jackson Wallace.
Shout outs.
Also, big shout out to Stellar Sound and Media. Anyone who is looking for studio time or wants a video made up, contact Stellar Sound and Media at gmail.com. You will not be disappointed.
Yes, sir.
We also want to shout out all our day oneers. Thank you for your love and support that you've shown us from the beginning. To everyone across the U.S. and to all the countries who continue to support us, we see all of you and we love you.
Yes, we do.
Message option on Anchor.
So if you click on that message, you can leave us a 30-second message, whether it's a shout out or whether it's to talk shit or give us some critiques, or if you want to comment on one of these episodes that we've had, any of the previous episodes, we will answer it live. We will play it back. You will hear yourself and we will respond to it.
That's right. We're still waiting for that first person to use it.
We're still waiting. Where is it? Where they at?
Anybody you want to use that audio option,
please
go to Anchor.
Yeah, go to Anchor. Click on that message.
Exactly.
Yep.
Leave us a message. Get at us.
Leave it on your phone if you have to.
All right. Lastly, please, everyone, find us on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Google, and Twitter.
All right.
And that is at IAR Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And by using the platforms of your choice, please subscribe, follow, share, comment. If you are using Apple to listen to every episode, please take a few seconds and leave us a quick review.
Please, just one click.
Yeah, and click that 5-star rating.
Please.
We need a little more interaction through Apple, and it not only helps us out, but it helps the podcast out.
Yeah, it really does.
So we really appreciate that.
Right, and we get the back and forth too. And leave the message option too. Leave a message.
Use it. But all right, my man, that's a wrap. Avi, thanks again, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, everyone, stay safe, stay kind, stay proud and powerful, and we'll see everyone soon. Peace.
Peace out.